Hello everyone, welcome to Pagan Crafting. Today we are going to make a Divination Dice Box with a 3 of Swords theme or flavor to it. We're going to have some polymer clay, some UV resin, some cool swords. We're going to rock out this little box. Join me today as we make a little Divination Dice Box. So the supplies we're going to need today are polymer clay, some paint brushes, some sculpting tools, a little box. I got these swords off of Temu. They're little metal swords. I was going to make some out of polymer clay, but didn't. It was just too, I did some pre-examples and it didn't work out as well as I thought it would. And I'm going to be basing everything on the 3 of Swords tarot cards. So at first I was going to make a heart that was exactly like the card, but then I realized the swords with the heart, no matter which one I chose, this heart would have been pretty small on this box, like too small. So we're decided I'm going to get a little bit creative here. So I started off by drawing the heart on the box first to get the size that I'm going to be rocking out here today. Then I can build my clay off of this. And I like the shape of the heart. I'm an ex-tattoo artist, so it's got a little old school flavor for me. Now, surprisingly, I don't know if it's the wood, but I didn't have to glue down the polymer clay onto this wood box, which was really rad. It actually baked on pretty tight and stayed on really well. So just filling in my heart first. Filling in my heart. Feeling the love in my heart. Yeah. I won't sing for you, I'll stop. But we're just going to finish this up here. So what I'm doing, I want a kind of a rounder shape in the heart. So I'm building up the layers here. And this is where I also need some extra room to be able to stick the swords in. And we'll need some thickness there. And this polymer clay smooths out pretty nicely. I love it. So before I bake that, I'm going to work on making a little eyeball for this. First, I was going to use this glass piece here and I was going to paint on it, do my kind of like how you do the dragon's eye, but the glass piece the eye wanted being too big. So we're going to rock our own. Make a little space for the pupil here. And just smoothing out the edges. So I'm going to do something I haven't done before, which I see it all the time on these polymer clay YouTube videos. They paint on top of the clay before putting it in the oven. So I'm going to give this a go and try it out for the first time. Switching to a taper brush here. I love this one. It gets some pretty sweet little fine lines I'm going to be able to bring in this one. It's a very flexible brush and allows you to do some pretty fine details with it too. So far the paint's taken really good on a unbaked clay. I'm really enjoying this. A little bit of black here now. So I made one little mistake here. I did do the little eye, the little white dot, but I wound up adding UV resin to this later. So I wound up having to re-hit that white to give it some more dimension to it. So before I bake the heart, because if you see on the left, I baked the heart before putting in the sword. So I had to make a whole another one and waste product. I was choked. I was really a really silly mistake. So I had to make a whole nother heart. So now I'm putting in the swords first before baking it. Yeah, I could not get the swords into it once it was baked. I thought maybe I could manipulate it a little bit, but it was no dice. I really love these little swords. Like I was saying, I got them from Temu. They're in like little charms and stuff, medieval swords. I have a bunch of them, so I hope to use them in some other projects here coming up. Now that I baked my eye, I wish I didn't put in the white dots yet, and you're going to see why. Using some UV resin, giving everything a good little coating. You don't need very much at all. Very tiny amount is all that's needed. But I wanted the pupil to have a raised look. So yeah, so I thought I'd indent it in, turning off some lights here. This is like a 2 to 4 minute to hold that in. And that's all set. But now I'm noticing the little white part is has a little depth. But if you look at it, look at that, my raised pupil. Oh, so cool, it worked. So I was testing it to see if it was on. I was going to glue it on, but it wasn't coming off. So that's pretty tight. So now we're going to sculpt the next part. We have to do the eyelid. I was even thinking about like putting eyelashes on this. I thought it looked kind of cool. I went to go steal some of my daughter's fake eyelashes that she has, but it didn't look as cool as I thought. The eyelashes need to be like longer and bigger. This eyeball's too big for lashes. Now what I've done is I've made a ton of these little round little balls, and we're gonna make I guess kind of like a little jewel adornment around them. So I'm using Mod Podge glue. Mod Podge glue works really well with polymer clay. Even in the oven, it doesn't bubble or react, and I found that really nice to use. I couldn't find the polymer clay glue that I've seen some other YouTubers use, so I'm still kind of on the hunt, but so far, like, the polymer clay is just rocking out. I'm not having any issues with it. Stays on quite well. Now I'm going to give everything here a coating of black. And then we're going to be doing some really cool dry brushing on everything afterwards. And I'm just taking my other brush and just smoothing out some of the paint lines. I don't want any streaky lines on there. Now we're going to get into the fun part. Want to load up the brush really well for dry brushing. Make sure your paintbrush is not wet before using. And this is all about just really taking your time. And you can do layers upon layers upon layers. The more layers that you do with dry brushing, you'll actually get some more realistic effects too. This one you don't want to go too much. I'm just using the black undertones with like the cherry red and the fire engine red. I'll be bringing the cherry red, the burgundies into there just shortly. Rocking in some golds here now. I thought gold, I'm not really a gold girl. I'm more of a lunar, kind of a silver titanium kind of cat, but I really like the gold with this one. I was quite taken. And I'm going to bring some purple later into it, so the gold, purple, and red will look really sharp together. And just dry brushing over these little adornments as well. And I thought I'd bring in a little bit of a gold shimmer along the eyelid. Well, it's something I didn't think about doing, but it looks really cool. It just adds that a little extra touch. I think that balanced everything out quite nicely. A little shimmer on the eyelid there. Now bringing in some contrast. Doing a dry brush of a black on top of the red, just to give it some depth around the edging. And after it dried, still the red had shimmered through that, so it looks quite sharp. I think it looked cool. Gave it some good dimension. Changed her up a little bit. Love it. And any spots that I may have gone a little bit too much, I just did a little fan on it, and I did overlap the red back on the black just to give it that little bit of, again, layers, layers, layers when it comes to dry brushing. Now this royal purple, oh, it's meant to be. Now our next step here, I'm going to be doing these, I don't know what you would call them, little rays, little designs. Sketch them on first, rock it in the black first to make it easier. Now between each layers, ooh, this one's all dry now, so I'm going to grab in some gorgeous aquamarine blue to bring out that's in the eye. Using my liner, my long liner brush. Love this one. It's like using a pinstripe brush. So flexible. It took me a while to get used to it, but it's pretty beautiful for the line work it can do and the fine lines. It's already popping it out now with that color. Phew! Love it. Now next I'd like to bring in some gold. One more line just on the outside, another stripe line. Just kind of feeling it out as I'm going on, see what you like. There's no right or wrong. You can do whatever you like. I'm just letting it take me wherever it likes to go. And I figured I just needed just something. I was trying to figure out what to do here. Just needed a little bit more of a punch of something, something. It just seemed too dark. Just going back in with a little bit of black and just touching up some of the lines in between. Just fine-tuning a few things. Going in with my little dot tool. That's all it needed. It was just a little more punch of some gold. Ooh, There we go. Just our little added rays of sunshine around what could be a little dark and gloomy Three of Swords. I like the Three of Swords for the design, not necessarily the meaning. I love these little swords. I absolutely need to use this in another project. Well, there we have it. My little Divination Dice Box for my readings. I'm absolutely in love with this. I think it's so cute. I love my little Three of Swords eyeball box. And I just painted the insides, super simple and easy. It's more the outside I'm focused on. Well, thanks so very much for chilling out with me again today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Throw me down a little thumbs up and ring that bell so you know when the next video comes out. And I want you to have yourself an absolutely magical day.